About the Rocky Mountain Book Club. It is a Reader's Choice Book Award, and we have been offering this in the Lac-La-Biche County region for approximately 6 to 7 years. We normally go into one of the local schools and present this in person. We are very happy to have this 100% online this year, which allows students, wherever they are, whatever classroom, or if they're learning from home, to participate. So grades 4 to 7, you can sign up online as an individual student by going to llbcl.ca, our website, click on programs, select the Rocky Mountain Book Club program, and then the form will be present. At the end of this session, you'll have a chance to vote for your favorite book. Isn't it great that you get to select your favorite title? Your voice does matter, and we could possibly win a visit, probably virtual, from the winning author. Also, it is an anniversary for the Rocky Mountain Book Award program in Alberta, so they are giving away 3 book sets, so we as a group might have a chance to win. So again, students in grade 4 to 7 can participate by registering. Now, if a teacher wants to register their whole class to take advantage of all the activities that are going to be presented, that's possible. You do that by calling 780-623-7467 and ask for Maureen Penn. You can also email me. On our website, we have a convenient online form. Just select Library Director from the Contact Us page, and then I can add your class to the roster. By registering, that ensures that you have a chance to win exciting prizes this year. And if we have activity packs, that they will get delivered to you, or pick up at the main branch can be arranged. So there are 20 books that you can choose from and vote for your absolute favorite. 10 are fiction, 10 are nonfiction. There are Canadian authors and or Canadian content. Sleep Puzzles, a brain-boggling animal guessing game. If you're given a list of features and characteristics, can you guess which animal they make? This might seem easy enough, but solving the puzzles in this book is tricky. There are 13 recognizable animals in this book, such as a polar bear and an ostrich as seen on the cover. The clues are very unexpected, and the animals are wandering far from where you would expect them to be. Bloom by Kenneth Opel. It was just rain, but after that downpour, odd black plants began to shoot up. Suddenly, they are everywhere. They take over the fields and twine around houses. They bloom and throw up toxic pollen and feed. Strangely, 3 island teens seem immune. What's their connection? What's their secret? A week ago, they wouldn't have thought they had one, but they had better figure it out fast. The invasion has already begun. Broken Strings. In the aftermath of the Twin Towers and the death of her beloved grandmother, Bergman is intent on moving forward. She is the best singer in her junior high and auditions for the lead role, but is crushed to learn that she's been given the part of an old Jewish mother in the musical rather than the lead. She decides to throw herself in the role anyway and make the most of it. She's rummaged around in the attic for some props, and he discovers an old violin in a corner, and a journey begins. In fact, she uncovers a long-kept family secret. Climbing Shadows. These poems reflect children's joys, sorrows, worries, fears, moods, and the sense of humor. Some poems address common themes such as having a hard day at school, feeling shy, or being a newcomer, while others explore bats, spiders, racing cars, and even birthday parties. In this book, you'll see that there are all kinds of poems that are for everyone, whether it be to read or to write. Dog-driven. McKenna is trying to hide her worsening eyesight and has been isolating herself for the last year. But at the request of her little sister, she signs up for a commemorative male-run race in the Canadian wilderness. A race she doesn't know if she can even see to run. An adventure about living with a disability and surviving the wilderness, Dog Driven is the story of one girl's self determination and courage it takes to trust in others. Ghost's Journey, a refugee story. When life in Indonesia becomes too dangerous for LGBTQ people, Ghost and her two dads are forced to leave their home and escape to freedom in Canada. Ghost's journey was inspired by two gay refugees and their cat, Ghost. There are illustrations in this book created from their original photographs. Harvey Comes Home. A Dog's World is a world of sense and of adventure. When a runaway West Highland Terrier named Harvey wanders out of his old life guided only by his nose and his heart, lives began to converge. Austin, a young volunteer at a retirement home, quickly finds that the audacious Harvey inspires Mr. Pickering, a bitter resident coping with memory loss, to tell stories of his childhood. Moved by the elderly man's recollections of poverty and perseverance of his friends and family, Austin begins to trade his preconceived notions for empathy. But is it enough to give him the resolve to track down Harvey's original owner? Home Sweet Neighborhood, transforming cities one block at a time. Picture a busy avenue. Now plant trees along the boulevard, paint a mural by the empty lot, and add a community garden. Set up benches along sidewalks and make space for kids' chalk drawings. And you have set the scene for a thriving community. Placemaking, personalizing public and semi-private spaces like front yards, is a growing trend in cities and suburbs around the world, drawing people out of their homes and into conversations with one another. How to Become an Accidental Genius. This book is full of inspiring tales of the famous and lesser-known inventors who have changed the world, from George Washington Carver, Mary Anderson, who invented the windshield wiper, and Mary Sherman Morgan, the woman who saved the U.S. space race. Readers will be amazed at the inventiveness of these geniuses. The book focuses on inventors from North America, but includes stories from around the world. Killer Style: How Fashion Has Injured, Maimed, and Murdered Through History. The clothes we wear every day keep us comfortable, protect us from the elements, and express our unique style. But could fashion also be fatal? As it turns out, history is full of fashion that have harmed or even killed people. From silhouette-quenching corsets, combustible combs, to lethal hair dyes, and flammable flannel. This nonfiction book looks back at the times when people have suffered pain, injury, and worse, all in the name of style. Meet Elsie McGill. Elsie worked on the Canadian-made Hawker Hurricane fighter, which helped the Allied forces to victory in World War II. Elsie was born in 1905 to a mother who was a feminist pioneer in her own right. Elsie grew up fully expecting to follow her dreams, and she did. Elsie was the first woman to graduate from the University of Toronto's electrical engineering program and went on to earn her master's in aeronautical engineering. Later in her life, she was the champion of women's rights, and her work shaped many of the protections we now enjoy. Nevers. Resourceful 14-year-old Odette is on the move again, traveling as a stowaway on a cheese cart with her hapless mother, Anneline. They're in Burgundy, France, in 1799, fleeing yet another calamity caused by Anneline, who's prone to killing people, accidentally, mind you. At dawn, they find themselves in a town called Nevers, which is filled with eccentric characters, including a man who excessively smells hands, another who dreams of becoming a chicken, and a donkey that keeps the town awake at night, braying about his narrow life. As Odette establishes a home in an abandoned guardhouse, she makes a friend, finds work, and uncovers a mystery that may lead to riches and more importantly for her, a sense of belonging. Sergeant Billy. During World War I, a goat named Billy was adopted by a platoon of soldiers and made his way across the ocean to be part of the war effort. Billy trained with the soldiers, was smuggled across the ocean, ate some secret documents, and was arrested for treason. He even headbutted the soldiers into a trench, but that was to save them from a shell. This charming true story follows Sergeant Billy from his small prairie town to the trenches of World War I and back. Stand on the Sky. She'd always heard that an eagle chooses the eagle hunter. She wanted that. She wanted her eagle to come to her, to choose her. But that goes against all tradition for a female to train an eagle. Only men can fly them. But everything changes when she discovers that her brother has been concealing a bad limp that actually risks his future as the family leader, but also his life as well. When her parents leave to seek a cure for him in a distant hospital, she finds herself living with her intimidating uncle and strange auntie while secretly caring for an orphaned baby eagle. To save her brother and keep her family from having to leave their nomadic life behind forever, she must earn her eagle's trust and fight for her right to soar. This is a Governor General Literary Award winner, and we encourage you to check it out. The Canadian Kid's Guide to Outdoor Fun is filled with hundreds of ideas for games with friends, solo activities, DIY projects, recipes, and fascinating fun facts. This book will teach kids just how much there is to do when those screens are turned off. Kids can learn how to catch a fish, master canoe strokes, how to put on a play, how to tie-dye a shirt, and there are some games which might help you survive those long car trips. The Copycat. Allie and her parents have moved at least once a year for as long as she can remember, but her parents say living in St. John, New Brunswick will be different. To Allie's surprise, things are different this time, just not in the way she hoped. Allie has always acted like a copycat to make friends, but when she unexpectedly inherits the ability to change her appearance at will, fitting in seems impossible. Luckily, with the help of her family, new friends, and a touch of magic, Allie might just survive middle school after all. The Ghost Collector. Shelley and her grandmother catch ghosts in their hair. Just like all women in their family, they can see souls who haven't transitioned yet. It's their job to help the ghosts along their journey. When Shelley's mom dies suddenly, Shelley's relationship to ghosts and death changes. Instead of helping the spirits move on, Shelley starts hoarding them. But no matter how many ghosts she collects and hides in her room, Shelley can't ignore the one ghost that's missing. The phone booth in Mr. Horata's garden. When the tsunami destroyed Mako's village, he lost his father and his voice. The entire village is silenced by grief, and the younger child's anger at the ocean grows. Then, one day, his neighbor begins a mysterious project, building a phone booth in his garden. At first, Mako is puzzled. The phone isn't connected to anything. It just sits there, unable to ring. But as more and more villagers are drawn to the booth, its purpose becomes clear. The disconnected phone is connecting people to their lost loved ones. Mako calls to the sea to return what it has taken from him and ultimately finds his voice and solace in a phone that carries words on the wind. The very, very far north. In the very, very far north, past the cold, cold ocean and just below the hill that looks like a baby whale, you'll find Dwayne and his friends. Dwayne is a sweet and curious young bear who makes friends with everyone he meets. Whether they're bossy like Major Puff, the penguin, or a bit vain like the handsome muskox, or very, very shy like the caribou. These Arctic friends find that every day is a new adventure. What the Eagle Sees, Indigenous Stories of Rebellion and Renewal. What do people do when their civilization is invaded? Indigenous people have been faced with disease, war, broken promises, and forced assimilation. Despite crushing losses and the insurmountable challenges, they formed new nations from the remnants of the old ones. They adopted new ideas and built on them. They fought back and kept their cultures alive. When the only possible victory was survival, they survived. What the Eagle Sees shares accounts of people, places, and events that have mattered in Indigenous history from a vastly unrepresentative perspective and Indigenous viewpoint. So I hope you're interested in the Rocky Mountain Book Awards titles for this year and have a chance to vote in 2021 on your favorite. It'll be interesting to see what the readers in Alberta choose this time around. And if you're looking for a few other options, we also participate in the Young Readers' Choice Awards. This is beyond a national award. It is international because it spans Canada and the US. You have a chance to vote for your favorite in the same age category as the Rocky Mountain Book Awards. And the titles this year are Inkling by Kenneth Opel, Positively Izzy, Small Spaces by Catherine Arden, The Serpent's Secret, Arlo Finch in the Valley of Fire, Wings of Fire, The Dragnet Prophecy, Granted, and rounding it out with Sweep, the Story of a Girl, and Her Monster. So the link will be available on our social media platforms once it's time to vote for this in the springtime of 2021. Now you're probably wondering, how can I access these books? Well, if you already have a library card, you can place a hold on any of the titles shown today. There are also some of these titles are on some of our e-resources, so you might be able to check them out without having to come to the library. If you wish us to give you a call and do a grab and go option, that is a possibility. Now you're probably thinking, I don't currently have a library card or I need to renew it. You can call the main branch to renew your library membership, and that's 780-623-7467 to sign up for a new library card. And if you don't have a chance to make it into the main branch, because the branch in Plamondon right now is open, but only for curbside pickup, you can fill the convenient online form located on our homepage, llbcl.ca. So thank you for joining, and sign up today to be part of Rocky Mountain Book Awards, to have a chance to win some amazing prizes and participate in the fun activities, including some interactive activities. More details to follow.